to Peter, W2JV. That is my call sign. My name is Peter, and I stream amateur radio. Good afternoon. It is now approximately 12:52 Eastern Daylight Time, and as I indicated yesterday, I will be doing a little streaming of the North America QSO Party sideband for 2024. The objective is to contact as many North American stations for a 10-hour period, maximum time you're permitted to be on the air. It's a low-power event, so looks to me like I'll be starting here on one of the bands, maybe 10 meters, and see how that looks. So we're going to just tune up a little bit, and welcome aboard. And for those who have any questions, I do have a chat window, so when time allows, I will be more than happy to answer your questions. No spotting is allowed here for me. I will be doing it without assistance, and we will see just how well we do. So right now the sunspot, the SFI number is 157, so that's pretty good. The BZ number is minus 3.4, so that might indicate a little bit of QSB on the band. The KP number is 2.3. That's not too bad. For those that are watching the live feed here that I'm doing, my apologies for the darkness of the picture. It's daytime here, and I'd have to put a lot more light on me, but I'm not important. It really we'll be listening to band activity and see just how everything goes. So let me turn up the volume here, and we'll listen. I'll be streaming for about an hour, I think. Here we go. All right. So looking for, I guess, a spot on the band. We're just looking for signals. Let's see what the activity is like. I'm on 10 meters right now. 10 meters. So we'll see what may be happening. Anybody calling CQ?
Like I said, hopefully I'll try to keep the temperature warm in Alberta near for your return. Over. 73. K1, go ahead.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good signal. The activity will start to pop up soon. This is a Flex 6400 that I'm using, and they recently came out with an update, and things seem pretty good. I'm going to be using the Vox for the first time in a long time because they've made improvements in that area. Let's do a little tune here. Not too bad. Okay, let's do a little test. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? This is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Is the frequency in use? CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, CQ calling, CQ. CQ calling, CQ from Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victor. They'll put a CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. A Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. This is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, listening. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, CQ and listening. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, CQ calling, CQ. Well, it seems a little quiet right now, but maybe at 1 o'clock things will I can't forget that I have the Vox on. I'm using Vox, so whatever I say goes out on the air. Anyway, so all right, let's see. If not, we'll go to 20.
6, Charlie, Quebec. Go ahead, Pedro.
Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Excuse me. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ. Anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. This is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria.
On 10 last week. So, all right, we'll see you later. Have fun. QRZ, KY7 Mike. November, India, 3 kilo. You're a little bit weaker, about 5.
Is the frequency in use? Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Is the frequency in use? Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. Is the frequency in use? Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Is the frequency in use? W2JV, CQ calling, CQ. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ. Anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ for the North America QSO party. CQ calling, CQ and AQP. CQ calling, CQ for the North America QSO party. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ and AQP. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor listening. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ and AQP. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ and AQP. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere for the North America QSO party. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ and listening.
Kilo Delta 7, Mike Tango.
Kilo Delta 7, Mike Tango. Thank you very much. The name is Pete, Pop Echo Tango Echo, New York.
QSL, Chuck, Montana.
Thank you, Chuck. A nice signal from Montana today. True 5 and 7. Thank you, Chuck, and good luck, and thanks for the contact, 73s. QRZ, anyone, anywhere for the North America QSO party. This is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, and AQP. CQ calling, CQ, and AQP. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ and AQP, CQ calling, CQ, North America QSO party, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling, CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria for the North America QSO party. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ and AQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ and AQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling, CQ, CQ calling, CQ, For the North America QSO Party, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria, CQ and listening. November Delta Zero, Tango Sierra. Thank you very much. Name is Pete, Papa Echo, Tango Echo, and we're located in New York, November Yankee. QSL?
QSL, name is Tom, Tango Oscar Mike in North Dakota.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much for seldom heard North Dakota. Appreciate that. 73s and have a very wonderful day. QRZ, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Excuse me. CQ calling CQ anyone anywhere for the North America QSO Party. Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ anyone anywhere. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria and AQP. CQ calling CQ and AQP. CQ calling CQ for the North America QSO Party. This is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere, a Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor and AQP. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ for the North America QSO Party, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria.
CQ-NAQP, CQ-NAQP, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, CQ. CQ-NAQP, CQ-NAQP, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, CQ.
CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, NAQP, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. All right, we're going to try.
Say it again. KC1RNN, I need the name and state. In Silvio. Roger, Charlie Tango. Okay, Silvio, QSL, KY7 Mike.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor.
W2 JV, Lee, Arizona.
Thanks, Lee. Pete, New York.
QSL, QRZ. November 2, Mexico, Florida, Lee in Arizona. N2MF, Lee, Arizona.
Japan. QSL, Dan, it's Ken, Kilo Echo November Tango in Hawaii, aloha. Mahalo to you.
North America QSO Party, this is KS2G, Kilo Sugar 2 Golf Contest. Again? CQ Contest, CQ North America QSO Party, this is KS2G, Kilo Sugar 2 Golf Contest.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor.
W2JV, how you doing, buddy? Mel in New York?
Mel, I'm fine. Pete, New York, and you have a station under you. Kind of weak, but interfering a bit with you, Mel.
Kilo Sugar 2 Germany. CQ Contest, CQ North America QSO Party, this is S2G, Kilo Sugar 2 Golf Contest. CQ Contest, CQ North America QSO Party.
QSL, John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo.
Toronto. thanks, Mike. Thanks for the moment. Good luck. QRZ. Is that Whiskey Alpha 2, Jack Queen King? Thank you. Shell, SHEL, Colorado. Thank you, Bob. 73 is QRZ, Kilo Fox Zulu, United Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
A couple of stations, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Shell, SHEL, Colorado.
QSL, Pete, New York.
Thanks, Pete. Good luck. QRZ. I should know that, Rob. It's not at Georgia sitting next to me. 73 K5 Tango Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
W2JV, Ed, Texas.
Ed, thank you. Pete, New York.
Thanks, Pete. K5 Tango Radio. N1 IBM, Ed, Texas. Thanks, 8 Peter 5 Alpha. Still Juliet 4 Yankee Legal Radio, call Barbados. Thank you, 8 Peter 5 Alpha.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
K3AJ, call Barbados. Thank you, 8 Peter 5 Alpha.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey Alpha 3 Zulu India Charlie, call Barbados. Thank you, 8 Peter 5 Alpha.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey Alpha 4 Fox Juliet Bravo, call Barbados. Four Papa Golf Echo, call Barbados. Thank you, 8 Peter 5 Alpha.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
32JB, call Barbados.
Thanks, Tom. Pete, New York.
Thanks, 8 Peter 5 Alpha. W4RM, call Barbados.
Thanks, Ron. And that's 3-2, Kevin.
Colorado. Thank you, T0EU.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
W2JV, Kevin, Colorado.
Thanks, Ken. Pete, New York.
Thank you, QRZ. Victor Echo 3, Tango Whiskey Golf, Cannon, Colorado. Still hear me?
Whiskey Alpha 2, Delta
November India, Paul Mike Bravo. QSL Jim, thank you very much. QRZ, Victor Alpha 4 Alpha Delta Mike.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Mike? Who is Mike? India Mike? Bravo India Mike again, please. Alpha Kilowatt 6. Oh, sorry, Kilowatt Alpha 6 Bravo India Mike. Paul Mike Bravo. QSL, thank you very much for the Oregon. 73 QRZ, Victor Alpha 4 Alpha Delta Mike.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Ending Delta Alpha? November Alpha 4 Delta Alpha, Indy, Florida. Again, Delta Alpha, you will see cool? November Alpha 4 Delta Alpha. QSL, November Alpha 4 Delta Alpha, booming, Paul Mike Bravo. Roger. Roger. Thank you, 73 QRZ, Victor Alpha 4 Alpha Delta Mike.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Who's it, Juliet Victor?
Thank you. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Paul Mike Bravo.
Thank you, Paul. Peter, New York.
QSL, thank you, QRZ. Quebec 4, Charlie. Auto.
Zero India Zulu, contest. CQNA.
Whiskey Zero, India Zulu. Whiskey Zero, Italy Zanzibar. Contest.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Name IZ. Italy Zulu. Colorado.
Thank you, IZ. Thank you. Pete, New York. PETE, New York.
yourself, thank you. Whiskey Zero, India. Radio Victor. CQNA, November 9, Radio Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Hi, Fred. Pat, Montana. Thanks, November 9, Radio Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
2 Juliet Victor, Pat, Montana.
Thanks, Pat. Pete, New York.
6 Pete, November 9, Radio Victor. E agora, antena de 1800 e bolinha. ATC 72, here's the uniform Alpha. Oscar 5 Tango. Thank you, this is David, Texas. CQNAQP, Whiskey 5, Whiskey Zanzibar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
CQNAQP, Whiskey 5, Whiskey Zanzibar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
CQNAQP, Whiskey 5, Whiskey Zanzibar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria.
Kilo K0 UKNA. CQNA K0 United Kilo K0 UKNA.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Bill, Colorado.
Thanks, Bill. Pete, New York.
Thanks, K0 UK. Is that Bruce in New York? Whiskey Delta 0 Tango. Whiskey Delta 0 Tango. Contest.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
4WE. Double E. Todd in South Dakota. Tango Oscar Delta Delta. 73. Whiskey Delta 0 Tango.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
32 JV. Todd, South Dakota.
Thanks, Todd. Pete, New York.
Thanks, Pete. Whiskey Delta 0 Tango.
Super Charlie, good luck. November 7, Radio Quebec.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Sandy, Arizona.
Thank you, Sandy. Pete, New York.
Thanks, Pete. Good luck. November 7, Radio Quebec.
Thank you, Joe. 73. Alpha Delta 1 Charlie. Uniform 7. Okay, Malcolm, WX3, Baltimore. Thanks, Jim. W0, Papa Sierra, Yankee, contest.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
W2JV, thank you. W Mars, Colorado.
Thank you, Marv. Pete, New York.
Is that Pete?
That's correct, Roger.
Okay, thanks, Pete. W0 PSY. You might go away, there's lots of guys calling me on this frequency. Thanks. CureJet, Victor Echo, 6 Papa Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
November 9 again. November 5, Radio Echo Lima. Night signal. Please copy Doug Alpha Bravo. Okay, thanks, Nathan. Got it. Georgia, Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet to Victor.
Well, go ahead. Okay, got it. November 4, Radio Alpha. Please copy Doug, Alpha Bravo. Got it. Thanks, Dick. Georgia, Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet to Victor.
Kilo Charlie 8 Echo Hotel Romeo. I think I got that right. Please copy Doug, Alpha Bravo. Thanks, Clint. You're 5'9". Everybody's 5'9". Thanks, Clint. All the best. Georgia, Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
The Alpha Bravo 9 again. Alpha Bravo 9, Yankee Charlie, please copy Doug, Alpha Bravo. Thanks, Georgia, Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
K0, Victor Bravo, Bravo uniform. Please copy the Doug, Alpha Bravo. Thanks, Bill. Whoops, is that KN, Kansas, or KA? Okay, I gotta start brushing up on my date abbreviations because I get them about 50% wrong. Thanks for the contact. Victor Echo 6 Papa Radio, Georgia. Kilo Uniform. November 6th. Echo Hotel 2 Oscar. Hello, thank you. This is Pete at Puerto Rico. Hello, this is Edison, New York.
7-3, November Papa 4 Zulu.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Give me 2 Juliet Victor. Thank you. Pete at Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Pete, New York.
7-3, QRZ. Pedro Whiskey Alpha, Pete at Puerto Rico.
Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria listening. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Is the frequency in use? CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQNAQP, CQNAQP, a Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, anyone, anywhere, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Victor Echo 7, Zulu Oscar. Thank you and good afternoon. Name is Pete, New York. Pete, Pop Echo, Tango Echo. Thanks, Jim, 73s. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, NAQP. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, anyone, anywhere, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. November Alpha Tango again?
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Kilo Fox 0 November Alpha Tango. The name's Ben Bravo Echo November, and I'm in Colorado. Over.
Roger, let me get that again. Is that Kilo Foxtrot 0 November Alpha Tango?
Yes, QSL, that's me. Over.
Thank you. Your name again is what?
Yeah, Ben Bravo Echo November. Bravo Echo November. Over.
Roger, thank you. And you're in Colorado. Kilo Foxtrot 0 November Alpha Tango. Thank you, Ben, 73s.
Yeah, 73. Yeah, have a good one.
You too as well. Good luck, and thank you very much for the contact.
Alpha Hotel 2 Oscar.
There you go. Alpha Hotel 2 Oscar. A big hoot to you, Dennis. Pete, New York.
Hey, Pete, hoot to you. Dennis in New York, New York.
Thank you, Dennis. Lots of luck for you as well. Thank you. 73s. QRZ, November, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ NAQP, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. The Kilo Alpha 4 again. Thank you very much. Kilo Alpha 4, radio uniform. Thank you, Pete, New York. Thank you, Mike, for Virginia, and thanks for your patience. 73s, and good luck. Thank you. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, NAQP.
Alpha Foxtrot 5 Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Alpha Foxtrot 5 Charlie. Thank you, Pete, New York. Hotel standby. Give me your name again, please. Alpha Foxtrot 5 Charlie. Your name again?
Buck Bravo Uniform Charlie Kilo Oklahoma.
Thank you, Buck. Nice name. 73s. Thanks for your patience. QRZ.
Kilo Charlie 5 Mike Alpha Hotel.
Mike Alpha Hotel. Thank you. Kilo Charlie 5 Mike Alpha Hotel. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The name is Pete, New York.
Right, the name is Jesus in Texas.
Your name again? Yeah, a little bit of QSB. Again with your name? Oh, that's Peter. Is that correct? Peter in Texas? Give me your name phonetically, please. Phonetically? Oh, Jesus. Nice name. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate that. Thank you for your patience. 73s, and have a good day. Yes, one more thing. Kilo 5 Alpha. Let me see. Kilo 5. Give me your call again, please, Jesus. Your call again.
Kilo Charlie 5 Mike Alpha Hotel. Kilo Charlie 5 Mike Alpha Hotel.
That's better. Jesus, thank you very much. 73s, and have the best of days. 73s. Thank you very much. QRZ, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Alpha Golf Romeo. Thank you. Victor Alpha 6 Alpha Golf Romeo. Let's see. Victor Alpha 6 Alpha Golf Romeo. Thank you. Pete in New York. Thank you, Glenn, for Alberta. 73s, and have a good day. QRZ, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, NAQP. Tango Juliet again? Thank you. Whiskey 1 Tango Juliet Lima. Thank you. Pete, New York. Hey, thank you, Tom. Good signal from Short Skip, Connecticut. Thank you. 73s. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, NAQP. Norway again?
Kilowatt 7 Norway.
Thank you. Kilowatt 7 Norway. Thank you. Pete, New York. Thank you, Don, for Arizona. Appreciate that. 73s. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ calling CQ NAQP. Anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling CQ calling CQ. Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling CQ calling CQ NAQP from Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling CQ anywhere. KS, this is Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. CQ calling CQ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. Thank you, Whiskey 3, Foxtrot, Italy, Zulu. Thank you, Pete, New York. Thank you, Pat, for Pennsylvania. Appreciate that. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere for the North America QSO party. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Alpha Bravo 0, Charlie Delta. Thank you, Pete, New York. Thank you, Dick. Thank you for Colorado, and have a very wonderful day. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. I hear a station with Lima again. I think a Papa Lima Lima again. Now, you're a little bit in the noise. I'm sorry. Maybe a little bit later would be better. QRZ NAQP, QRZ NAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey Bravo 0, United Lima X-ray.
Thank you, Whiskey Bravo 0, United Lima X-ray. Thank you, Pete, New York.
Thank you, Pete. Lloyd, Lima Oscar Yankee Delta, Lloyd, South Dakota.
Thank you, Lloyd, for South Dakota. Appreciate that. Have a good day. Have fun. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Kilo Charlie 1, Bravo, Bravo.
Nice signal, nice audio. Kilo Charlie 1, Bravo, Bravo. Pete, New York.
Roger, Jim, Alpha Zulu.
Jim, thank you for Alpha Zulu. Appreciate that. 73s. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Kilo Echo 5, Alpha Sierra November.
Alpha Sierra November. Thank you. Kilo Echo 5, Alpha Sierra November. Thank you, Pete, New York.
Roger, Mike in Oklahoma.
Thank you so much, Mike, for Oklahoma. Appreciate that. Best of 73s to you. Take good care. And let me just correct your name a little bit. That looks better. Thank you very much. And that's Oklahoma. 73s, and have a wonderful day. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. QRX. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. W9KHP. Thank you so much. Good to hear you again on the chat. Thanks so much, and have a real good day. W9KHP. Thanks for participating. Appreciate that. 73s. CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere for the North America QSO party. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, North America QSO party. This is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere for the North America QSO party and AQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ for the AQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria.
CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, CQ.
CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ, anyone, anywhere. This is Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, CQNAQP. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, from Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Yellow Sugar 2, Germany. Yellow Sugar 2. I do a logbook of the world. Would that work over? Okay, could you send me an email? I think my email's on QRZ.com. I need your name and state, over.
QSL, Gary, and thank you.
And yeah, just send me a message, email, and I'll try and do the QRZ.com for you. '73, good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar. The Whiskey Bravo 4. Whiskey Bravo 4, Yankee Delta Yankee. Please copy John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo. Thank you very much for a new one, and good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
The Alpha 2. Alpha 2, Mike Uniform, thank you. Please copy John, Juliet, Oscar, Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo. Hetty, is that Hotel Echo Delta Yankee? Okay, QSL, 7-3, and good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
The Kilowatt Foxtrot Whiskey. Okay, Carl, Whiskey 8 Kilo Fox Whiskey. Is that Carl with a C or with a K? Roger. That's a problem with some names. You can spell them a number of different ways, just like John. So my report, John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo, over. 73, Carl, and good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria.
The November 4th. November 4th, Zulu Radio. Please copy John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo. Pete in Maryland, thank you and good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey Germany 3, Japan, thank you. John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo.
Thank you, John. It's Eric in Maryland.
Eric in Maryland, QSL. Is that Eric with a C or with a K?
With a C.
Okay, QSL. 7-3, good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Japan Victoria.
November 2, Hotel Mike Pike. Please copy John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo. John in New Jersey, thank you and good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Please copy John, Juliet Oscar Hotel, November, Sierra Kilo.
Thank you, John. Pete, New York.
Pete in New York, thank you and good luck. QRZ, Victor Echo 5, Kilo Sugar. Ending in Kilo. November, India.
November X-ray 6 Tango.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Starting with Whiskey 9 X-ray Tango, Pat, California. Thanks. Is the other station?
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
W2JV, Pat, California.
Thank you, Pat. Pete in New York.
Thanks. November X-ray 6 Tango. CQNA, November X-ray 6 Tango.
CJJ, Canton, Hawaii. Got it, Tony. Thank you. QRZ.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Norway, 0, X-ray, Tango, and there may be another letter. It's Canton, Hawaii. Whiskey Victor 7, Hotel Pelican, Minnesota. Thank you. QRZ.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Kilowatt 8, Baker, Canton, Hawaii. Got it, Don. Thank you. QRZ from King Henry 6, Canada, Japan, Japan. Kilo 5, Bravo, Tango. November 0, Tango Sierra, I think Kent in Hawaii.
November Delta 0, Tango Sierra, Tom in North Dakota.
Okay, Tom, let's get this corrected. November Delta 0, Tango Sierra, Tom in ND. I should have learned to type a long time ago. Thank you very much. Aloha. QRZ, K6CJJ.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria.
Trey, Kent in Hawaii.
Kilo 5, Kilo Juliet Victor.
Okay, Jay, thank you. QRZ?
Kilo 5, Kilo Juliet Oscar Radio.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Charlie. KC8, Bravo Tango, thank you. Gary in Arizona, QSL, thank you. QRZ?
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Oscar Radio.
Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria.
Is that Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Radio, I think. Kent with a T in Hawaii.
It's Oscar Radio, Ocean Radio, and it's John Juliet Oscar November, Arizona.
Okay, KJ7OR, John in Arizona, QSL?
QSL.
Thank you, aloha. QSL?
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
KC4, Whiskey Delta X-Ray. Kent with a T in Hawaii. Please copy Jim in November Charlie, North Carolina. Jim in North Carolina, thank you. QRZ?
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Juliet Victor.
Alpha Radio, Kent in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Got it, John, thank you. QRZ?
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
November 3. Norway 3, Foxtrot with a T in Hawaii. Got it, Bob. Thank you. QRZ.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Japan Victoria.
Japan Victoria, your prefix.
Thank you. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, Kent in Hawaii.
Thank you, Kent. It's Pete in New York.
Pete in New York, QSL. QRZ from King Henry 6, Canada, Japan, Japan. Whiskey 7, X-Ray Tango, Kent in Hawaii. Dick in Montana, thank you. QRZ.
K0 BQB. Red November Oscar Delta 3. Okay, Victor Alpha 3 again. Victor Alpha 3, Papa Charlie. This is Don Delta X-Ray. Okay, thank you. 7 Quebec 6 Mike. Kilo Alpha 6 Romeo Whiskey Lima. Juliet Don Delta X-Ray. Alpha Radio Yankee November. You said Indiana? Okay, thank you. 7 Queen 6 Mike contest.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Lima. Kilo 0 Bravo Quebec Bravo. Okay, Tango Uniform Romeo, what is your prefix? Killer Bravo 1 Tango United Radio. This is Don Delta X-Ray. Okay, thanks. 7 Quebec 6 Mike.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Alpha Hotel 2 Oscar.
Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? CQ calling CQ, CQ calling CQ and AQP, Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor, Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria. Kilo 7, is that Kilo 7 Fox Charlie? Say your name again? Yeah, a little bit of QSB on your signal. Once again, name and location? Is that Oregon Oscar Romeo? And your name is Jack? Roger, Roger. QRZ, anyone, anywhere. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQNAQP, CQNAQP. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria. Kilo, Kilo, Zero, Delta. Thank you. Good afternoon. Pete, New York. Thank you, Steve, for Colorado. Good luck. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQ anyone anywhere for the NAQP. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria. Romeo Mike again? Radio Mexico. Kilo Echo Zero, Radio Mexico. Thank you very much. It's Pete in New York. Matt, thank you very much for Kansas. Let me make sure I have your call right. Kilo Echo Zero, Romeo Mike? Thank you, Matt. 73s, and have a nice day. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Victor Echo 6, Charlie Lima Golf.
Charlie Lima Golf again?
Victor Echo 6, Charlie Lima Golf.
Thank you very much. Victor Echo 6, Charlie Lima Golf. Thank you for repeating that. That's Pete in New York.
Thank you, Cal. Charlie Alpha Lima in Alberta. Alpha Bravo.
Thank you, Cal. Appreciate that very much. Good luck, 73s. W2JV. Kilo Tango Zero Papa. Thank you. Good afternoon. Pete in New York. Thank you, Scott from Montana, 73s. QRZ? Sierra Alpha Hotel. Kilo 7, Sierra Alpha Hotel. Thank you. Pete in New York. Kilo 7, Sierra Alpha Hotel.
Kilo 7, Sierra Alpha Hotel, Scott from Washington, WA.
Roger, that's Scott in Washington?
QSL, I didn't copy your location.
My pleasure, Scott. It's Pete in New York.
New York.
Thank you, Scott. 73s. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQ calling CQNAQP. CQ calling CQNAQP from Whiskey 2. Norway, stand by. Norway, Oscar 2 Delta. Sorry about that. Norway, Oscar 2 Delta. Thank you. Pete, New York. Say that again?
You were cutting out a little bit. Maybe there's something wrong with your mic or something?
No, I was cutting out because the power dropped out. My 100 watts dropped out for a moment, but I think it's back on again.
Okay, thanks. Just wanted to let you know.
Oh, thank you. What is your first name again?
73.
What's your first name?
Peter.
Oh, we have something in common. Thank you, Peter. 73s, and thanks for the info. Appreciate that. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor.
Alpha Juliet 6, Victor.
Alpha Juliet 6, is that Victor? Roger, thank you. Pete in New York.
Echo Delta, California.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for California, and have a great day. Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, anyone, anywhere, from Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, from Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, from Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan Victoria.
7, Victor, India, Oscar.
Nice signal. November 7, Victor, India, Oscar. Thank you. Pete, New York.
Your transmission's breaking up, and when you speak, you have Dan here, Delta Alpha November in Oregon, over.
Thank you, Dan. I think perhaps, perhaps the Vox wasn't sent. Dan, thank you very much. And how's that? Is that a little bit better, Dan?
Much better, much better. 5-9 copy.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Thanks for the heads up. 73s, and have a great day. Appreciate that. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor. Charlie, Charlie again? Victor Echo 7, Sierra Charlie Charlie. Thank you. Pete in New York. Give me your name once again. Thank you, Bob. A little QSB. And your call is Victor Echo 7, Sierra Charlie Charlie? Thank you. Thanks for the repeat. Appreciate that. QRZ, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor.
CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor, CQ. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor, CQ.
CQNAQP, CQNAQP. Anyone, anywhere for Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. CQNAQP, CQNAQP, Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor.
Sierra, Sierra.
You just don't want to be stupid anymore, you know.
California.
Kilo Yankee. Kilo Yankee 7, Mike. India Zulu contest. Pat, Papa Alpha Tango, Montana. Tango Radio. CQ contest, K5TR, K5 Tango Radio. CQ contest, K5TR, K5 Tango Radio. Arizona, QSL. What was the state? Alpha Zulu. Arizona, Alpha Zulu. Okay, Alpha Zulu, roger, thanks. Charlie, Charlie 1,
Whiskey 2, Juliet, Victor. Whiskey 2, Japan, Victoria. Victoria, V4 Victor. Thank you, Don. Pete in New York.
Scott, Louisiana.
Kilo United Kilo NA. Who's the station calling? QRZ again, K0 United Kilo NA. Who's the kilowatt alpha?
November Hotel.
Kilo India 5 Golf November Hotel.
AQP Whiskey Delta 0 Tango. Virgin Islands. Thanks, KP2RUM.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor.
10-5 Jet, Rum VI. Thanks, Chuck. QRZ.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2 Kilo something?
Whiskey 2 Japan Victoria.
W2 Juliet Victor, Rum in the Virgin Islands.
Thank you, Pete, New York.
Thanks, who's the W7? I guess. Again? W6 Lima.
Mars, Colorado. Thanks, Rick. W0 PSY. Sticky contest, Whiskey 0, Papa, Sierra Yankee. November 3, Whiskey.
Thank you for the Twitch listeners. I forgot the Vox is on. Thank you again, everybody, for listening on Twitch. We'll be signing off in a few moments. Thanks again for listening.
November India 1 Quebec. November India 1 Victor India Oscar from KC5U. Name is Eldon, Echo Lima Delta Oscar Norway, located in Oklahoma, QSL.
Q&A, Kilo India 6, Quebec, Delta Hotel.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Victor.
Whiskey 2, Juliet Victor, copy Fred, Wyoming.
Thank you, Fred. Pete in New York.
I got it, Pete. Thanks, 73.
Have a good one.
Kilo India.
Okay, we're going to be signing off. 73s, everybody, and catch you again. Thanks for spending some time with the NAQP North America QSO Party. 73s for now.